What's good, everybody? This is Edgar, the host of Snug Wrestling, and I'm here to tell you guys about Aquila. If you guys are tired of your flimsy sunglasses, then listen up, because Aquila has handcrafted limited run shades straight from Los Angeles. They're made out of 50% recycled materials like plant-based cellulose, acetate, and titanium. They've also got UV blocking sun lenses, blue light options, and even prescription lenses. I know I need prescription lenses. I'm blind as ever. And these shades, these glasses, these frames, they're built to last and they look super clean. Plus, Aquila is serious about sustainability. They last a long time. They're also a member of a nonprofit organization, 1% for the planet, and that means 1% of every cell is donated to a reputable environmental organizations around the globe. And because you listen to us, Snug Wrestling, you get an exclusive 10% off any order with the code SNUG at checkout. That's SNUG at checkout. And full transparency, if you use that code, you help us out a lot because we earn a small commission, but it helps keep the show rolling. And you get top tier eyewear in return. So go to aquila.la, that's AKILA.LA, and level up your look, level up your shades responsibly.
It's on tonight! 4 letters! 1 word!
Snug.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Happy new fucking year to you, dog.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. How do I sound?
Ugly as shit. No, I'm just kidding. You sound good.
Okay, wow.
So, dude, what'd you guys end up doing?
Last night just went for a little cookout at my best bud's house, and then left early so I could come home and watch the Stranger Things finale. And then then do a review. It's my first video of 26. And then went over to her parents' house, my in-laws, for like a New Year's Day kind of like hangout little lunch thing. Then went and visited my mom, helped her take her Christmas tree down and stuff, and help her clean her fish tank and do some stuff around there for her.
Nice. That's what's up.
How about you?
Nothing.
Drank.
Nah, dude, I didn't do shit last night, bro. Nah, it was lovely. I did not want to do anything, dude. I was so tired from all the other holidays that I literally just put my phone on silent and I ignored everybody because I was not trying to drink. I'm still recovering, dude. I feel like shit, tired,
I mean, you look like shit. God.
Yeah, well, that's now you know how it feels. No.
Wow. Now you know how it feels.
Yeah. So yeah, we just chilled. We went out to eat to fucking Korean barbecue, and then
That sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. Watched Stranger Things and just did the countdown and fucking went to sleep, bro.
Without spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, I agree, Gravedigger. How'd you like the finale? Because I was in love with it. I cried my ass off the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it like most people did. It seems like a lot of people weren't too happy with it, but I liked it a lot.
I got a lot of people on my Instagram, my Facebook post for it is doing insane numbers, my review. But honestly, 95% of the people that I've talked to loved it. Mm-hmm. Everybody else get bent just because the things you wanted to happen didn't happen because you don't write the show. They did a great fucking ending, in my opinion. Yeah. It was awesome, and I love the epilogue. They closed all the chapters, answered all your questions.
Yeah,
and it was like a nice, sweet, feel-good goodbye that hurt like hell at the same time.
Yeah,
but it was really good, bro.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I liked it. My wife liked it too. So yeah, I was pretty thrilled about that. But yeah, welcome everybody. We're back once again to our regular scheduled program with me and Mr. Blood. My name is Edgar. I'm the host. This is our one-on-one for the Snug Wrestling Podcast. here on TikTok Live, where eventually we're going to talk about some wrestling. But I think because of like the time we took off for the holidays, Blood, I didn't really find anything too crazy this week when it comes to like wrestling news. Or is that just me?
I can't really think of anything crazy either. We got a couple of things we're going to get into, like, SmackDown going back to 3 hours is insane, but it's not crazy wrestling news of this week. It's something that we've known, but it slipped our minds until Tommy so graciously reminded us.
Yeah.
Then we're going to talk and possibly bitch about the next European tour, which is about to happen here in the next 2 weeks. Because, oh, yay. Fantastic. Those goddamn start times over there, huh?
Boy, tell me about it. Yeah.
And then I'm, as much as I love, we'll get into it, but we got not a lot of wrestling, holy shit, this happened news, Still waiting for a Jericho return. I'm assuming his contract ended at the end of December, like it was rumored to be. Other than that, really just got January 5th's Raw anniversary coming up with all those 3 title matches. But yeah, nothing else just popping out like crazy.
Right. So, yeah, we could also be doing questions, too, if there's anyone on the comments that, has questions about anything wrestling related. We can definitely get into that as well. But, yeah, for now, keep on double tapping. I see that some people already liking the live. Thank you guys for that. Be sure to share what's going on. Debate 32 Wrestling. How's it going? It's going pretty good.
Shout out to Ron, RNICU in the comments. January 5th. Can't wait. We agree.
Yeah, man. January 5th is going to be crazy. I just did a little quick match preview with Ryan Gray from the No So podcast where we talked about Becky Lynch versus your girl, Maxine Dupree, unfortunately. But
yeah.
Who do you think is going to win, Blood?
It's a difficult one, right? Because it's funny because we should have done predictions for this when I really think about it. But because it is a pretty stacked Raw with some seriously high stakes.
Well, we can do them tonight.
It's a little difficult, right? Because in my opinion, I want Maxine to retain because I don't think it's fair that she wins. She has, 3 matches with Becky, beats her all 3 times, gets the title on the 3rd, has 1 defense against Ivy Nile, and then straight back to Becky. And it's if they take it off Maxine now, I'm what was the point of all that building of her, that month long of vignettes and all the, the hard work you've been putting into her, where the fans they're into her. The fans are into her and they like seeing her as champion. And I'm just if you take it off of her now, I really think that kind of wastes. It would have felt like a waste of time to automatically have her drop it straight back to Becky right after beating Becky for it, without really giving Maxine any other challengers to really help her hone her skills, get her ears wet a bit more, her beak wet, so to speak, and show off more of what she can do. Because she had a great match with Ivy. The match she beat Becky for was really good. And I think that if you kept it on her a little longer, we could see some really cool stuff out of her if she was given more of the chance. So I'm going to say, not because I'm just a fan of Maxine, but because I'm curious as to where this could potentially go. I genuinely would hope that Maxine retains. And I have someone here in the comments, Brad316 X76 says, I think Becky's winning because isn't Maxine getting married? Well,
she already did.
Oh, she already did. So yeah. I mean, unless there's a honeymoon.
Oh,
where, maybe that month. I mean, maybe if she got married, that the whole month she was off was the honeymoon. Like when she was off doing those vignettes with Natty, she could have taken her honeymoon then. That's possible.
I think the wedding. I saw pictures of the wedding. It just happened yesterday or the day before yesterday or something like that. It's pretty recent.
So, I mean, I would hope that she retains and they just give her a week off for a honeymoon, and then she comes back to work the week after. There's no need to drop it to Becky because she misses 1 week of work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they kept it on Rollins when he blew his fucking knee out right before WrestleMania 40, and he was still on. He had the title on his shoulder for 3.5 months. He didn't wrestle a single match till Mania. So if she's just gonna go get married and have a honeymoon and, take like a week for a honeymoon. Most people take like 5 days for a honeymoon, like I'll see you next Monday.
Take your time, Maxine. Take a honeymoon. Go on vacation. Don't worry about it.
But it doesn't matter because
just
keep in
get
mind,
the fuck off my TV.
She's still competing on Monday Night Raw in the title defense. So she retains, gets on a plane, goes home, grabs her husband, goes on freaking honeymoon, comes back the next following Raw. She doesn't even miss TV. So,
yeah.
But I want Maxine to retain because I really do think there's something there with her, and she is getting over and is over with a lot of the audience, and she is getting better every time she gets in that ring, and you can see the greenness chipping away week after week after week. And the way that she cuts promos, cookie cutter as they may be, because that's what they tell her to say, she's still delivering her promos very believably. So she's good and confident on the mic as well. And she's holding her own against Becky. I don't want to see Becky hold that fucking title again. Most of last year was Becky surrounded by that stupid championship. So it's not that the championship is stupid, but I was sick and tired of seeing her and Lyra and Bayley run it back and forth for 3.5, 4 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want Maxine if they take it off of Maxine, I genuinely believe it's because they're going to line her up. They're going to line Becky up for a match with AJ for that title. That's what I think is going to happen if they take it off of Maxine. But I think it's too early. If you want to take it off her after the Rumble or after Elimination Chamber. Like, let her have a couple more defenses.
Yeah. I had a feeling you were going to say that, Mr. Blood.
It's not just because I'm a fan. It's because it's the most practical sense. If you say you were trying to build
if we're
going to
talk about sense, they shouldn't have put the title on her in the first place.
No, because if you say I disagree. If you say you're trying to build new stars, you have to be willing to roll the dice on people sometimes and give them a chance to impress you, give them a chance to show you what they can do. Maxine has locked in. That she has shown them she is willing to put in the fucking effort and the work to be what they want her to be. And that right there is why they put the title on her, because she's game. She's a team player. And to me, if I'm running a business and you're out there representing my company and I need you to represent the way I need you to represent, and you don't got to be perfect, but I need you to go out there and work your ass off and show that you are willing to work as hard as you can with nothing left.
And that's fine.
And she does
and that's cool. Yeah, she does. But I mean, I can guarantee you there's at least 10 other women that are as committed as Maxine Dupree, at least 100%. In that whole fucking roster.
100%, but
that
a lot
doesn't
of them,
tell me like, oh, you deserve to be Intercontinental Champion.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I would argue, are those 10 people more over than Maxine, or are they sitting and catering?
Yeah, I don't know how those out of those 10 people, they can be over, or they can be more over than Maxine. But Maxine has a spot right now, which is something I don't understand. But yeah.
But here's the thing too, because WWE picks and chooses when they are going to commit to somebody. Case in point, as soon as Chad Gable went away for his surgery, they made a big stink about Ivy. When I come back, all of you better have gold. And Ivy said, "Oh, we're going to win all the titles." And for 2 weeks they gave her and the rest of them a push. 2 weeks, the Creed brothers and her. And then they were off TV for a good month and a half. And then we saw them, but it was only in Jackie Redmond interviews backstage, or it was up with Byron Saxton in commercial breaks. And that was it. They said 2 weeks, and they were like, let's do something else. So, and Ivy, you could argue, should have been IC champion already. Okay? And they didn't give it to her. Lyra could have held on to it. They could have given it to Bayley, and they fucking didn't. But they said, you know what? We need the tag division stacked out right now, and we need to build a new star that people love. So let's turn Maxine into a project, see if she can hang. She is hanging. Okay, now let's feed people to her that are better than her to push her to get better. And that's what they're doing.
No, yeah. I guess in that sense, it does make sense, because we were just talking about this, when we were talking about Stephanie Vaquer in the women's division. And I want to give a quick shout out to Christian. I see you in the comments. And also Debate 32 Wrestling has a question about Chris Jericho. We'll talk about Chris Jericho because it's kind of related to Raw on January 5th. But, you know, the lack of, I guess you can say, star power in the women's world title scene for Stephanie Vaquer, that at least they are trying to build up a new star in Maxine Dupree in the Intercontinental title division. And you know what? I'm hopeful. I'm not feeling it right now when it comes to Maxine Dupree and all this that they're doing. But yes, they are trying to create a new star in her. That's what we need to see, right? And anything can happen in wrestling, dude. Yes. I mean, I'm willing to admit Dominic Mysterio, I couldn't stand that motherfucker at first when we first started seeing him, and now we love him.
But he showed you what he could actually do. Exactly. And remember, when he came in with Ray, he was just as green as Maxine, and he had been training longer, and he was just as green. Now look at him. The guy, to me, is a merch-pushing machine. He, to me, when I look at Dom, I see Dom. He is not a massive draw, but he's a draw. He's a guy you'd put on your marquee.
He's not a massive draw yet, but definitely will be.
Oh, he will be. But the name Mysterio carries weight on a marquee. It does after all these years. And when you're talking about the credibility of that name, but the true genius of the character work Dom has just been doing for years now, and the fact that WWE has really saddled their horse to them and said, hey, we're going to make you a fucking double champion for Christ's sakes this year. Okay? You're going to be in all these major storylines. You're going to be a part of one of the biggest factions. We're going to put the two hottest women on your shoulders and make them fight over you. Or three, Rhea Ripley too. And they go, hey, you're going to beat John Cena to regain your championship. That's because what they did with Dom works. He was green. They were patient. They molded him. They let him take the ball and see if he would run with it or he would drop it. And he fucking took it and he traveled. He just traveled. He said, fuck the draw. He ran with it. And now look at him. If you give people the opportunity to show you that they can impress you, that they can wow you, that they can be something to an audience, you owe it to your company, to yourself, and to the fans to at least try. Because even if people think, well, Maxine's green as shit, she is green. But sit here and tell me that you're not at least a little bit impressed by her drive, her willingness to keep pushing, how hard you can tell that she is trying to be good at this. That right there is all I need to see to know that if she keeps at that and they keep believing in her, she will be incredible in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, just like Dom was.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Christian once again says, as someone at Mania, it was awesome seeing him win the Intercontinental title. Yeah, it was. I was there too. That was really cool. So yeah, let's stick on this Monday Night Raw for January 5th because the rumors are going around that Chris Jericho is officially a free agent. I've been seeing the posts about it all day. Now that December is over, we're in the new year. Chris Jericho is a free agent. Now the question is, when do we see Chris Jericho return to the WWE? It's pretty certain. Most people feel pretty confident the fact that Chris Jericho is going to sign with the WWE. Do we see him as close to January 5th, this next upcoming Monday Night Raw, or do you think we'll see him at the Royal Rumble?
I mean, if they're really trying to stack Raw, we've already got, 3 title matches, the world title, we have the Intercontinental Championship, and I believe we have a Women's Tag Team Championship match that night as well, right? So, and WWE's typically doing like a 5-match card. Then you got to throw in promos, bells and whistles, the last year. And then they're going to plug Unreal for season 2, which is coming out in a few weeks. And they're going to start talking about the freaking European tour. I don't know if he fits on the show without feeling crammed into it. Because it also depends on what those other 2 matches are. And I do think something was announced. Like, I think we already know like 4 matches at least. But I feel like as cool as it would be to see him right now, I think the Rumble just makes more sense. It's right around the corner. It would be the biggest pop of the Rumble. The biggest pop of the Rumble. I can't think of anybody else who could return at the Rumble, albeit like Kevin Owens or God, one of the other 20 million people that's out injured right now. Seth Rollins coming back like early or something like that. I can't think of anybody else who's gonna get a bigger pop and have a bigger moment than Chris Jericho returning. Because if he re-signs the WWE, it is his last contract wrestling period, and then he's going to retire. I don't even think he's got another year of wrestling left in him. If you want me to be honest, I think if he re-signs, this is his last year as an active competitor, and I think he's going to get retired this year at some point, probably by Gunther.
Yeah, I don't think this is definitely going to be his last WWE contract, but he's definitely going to go back to AEW after whatever. If he comes back to the WWE, when he comes back to the WWE, Chris Jericho, I definitely still see him going back to AEW because he was there. He helped start AEW, so I don't see Chris Jericho retiring and not having like a farewell tour, some type of retirement, something to do with AEW on his way out.
I mean, it's not that he helped start AEW. He wasn't really
part
of
start. What do you mean?
No, he was
one of the reasons it started.
He was, yes, but it wasn't his idea. They predicated
but he helped started it.
They predicated the main card and the drawing power off his name, but he didn't start it. He was just the biggest star they had for the show. Because he was the main guy for the longest time, and at the original All Out or All In or whatever the fuck it was, he was the biggest name on the card. But
he is an AEW original.
But I don't see him going back to AEW anytime soon. I mean, think about it. Let's say he re-signs WWE, right? WWE usually does 3 to 5 year deals. That's it. So when it comes down to it, I see him doing like a year as an active competitor, getting retired either this year or at Mania next year. And then he's got 2 years left with WWE. So that means he's going to turn into a trainer or a producer role. Okay. And then he's going to be off screen for a while or go on tour with Fozzy because he's still going to tour with Fozzy even while he's under contract with WWE here. So you'll see him for like half of this year. And then the other half of the year, he's going to be on tour or on the Jericho cruise because they have one scheduled for this year. And then you'll see him around Mania season next year. He's going to build up his retirement match, be retired, and then he'll be a producer and he'll probably have 2 to 3 to 4 years left on that contract. And then maybe he'll go back to AEW way after that, like 3 to 4 years from now, 3 to 5 years from now, I could see him being back there. But until AEW starts their own like Hall of Fame, I don't know why he would return there. Because who wants a 60-year-old active competitor? Like it's supposed to be with the young guys. Like all elderly wrestling isn't just a joke for nothing. Some of your top guys are in their 40s and 50s. You had Sting wrestling in his 60s. I don't think Jericho fits the mold of AEW anymore, let alone 5 years from now.
No, not as a competitor, but
if he goes back, it's got to be in a producer role. That's all.
Maybe something like that. And also, because I feel like Chris Jericho is more, even though, he's from WC, wrestled all these companies, WCW, WWE. When I see Chris Jericho, I still feel like he's more of an AEW guy now more than ever, even though he might go back to the WWE. I can still see him going back to AEW, not as a competitor, but as like, hey, I'm back. And AEW would benefit a lot, for if they bring back Chris Jericho. Well, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but I can definitely see, Chris Jericho doing something like that.
Brad 316 X76 asks, do you think WWE would give him the Rumble win? No, not at all.
That was another thing too.
They have a couple of things already slated to win the Rumble this year. The highest talking points based on reports are either LA Knight, Roman Reigns are like two of the biggest names to win the Rumble. There's a lot of talk of Sami Zayn because the Rumble's in Saudi Arabia this year. But I could not see them giving it to Jericho. It's about pushing up and coming talent, guys. How are you going to push a guy in his 50s?
No, they wouldn't give him the Rumble.
No, and that's too big of a spot to give him because no offense to Jericho, he can't perform at the level, in my opinion, that fans nowadays expect and require a main event title match for WrestleMania to come across, and feel like. He can still go in the ring, but he is not going like he did in 2010, in 2009, in 2002 against Shawn Michaels. We saw the WrestleMania main event last year with Cody versus Cena, and all the fans did was rip it to pieces, fairly so, because it was a very slow-moving match. It felt very stagnant, no excitement whatsoever, very, very, very slow technical wrestled match. And they try to cover it up and say, well, it was done that way because John Cena was trying to ruin wrestling, and he ruined wrestling by not giving you the spectacle that you wanted. But really, no, I just think it's how they wrestled. And it didn't work. You don't need that kind of match at Mania, and that's what Jericho would bring. I've seen him wrestle in AEW recently. The guy doesn't move the way that you want. Like, let me ask you this. Let's say he wins the Rumble. You really want to see 50-something-year-old Chris Jericho versus fucking Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in some high-octane match that Jericho can't keep up with? Do you really want to see him wrestle a match against Braun Breaker? Let's say Braun Breaker's the heavyweight champion by Mania. You think Jericho's keeping up with Braun? Do you honestly, in any realm of possibility, think that Jericho of today could stand a chance against winning Braun or beating Braun? No one would believe it. I don't believe 50-something-year-old Chris Jericho has a chance in hell against Braun Breaker, let alone 40-year-old Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that was another thing too when we talk about Chris Jericho in the Rumble. If they were to bring him back to WWE brings back Jericho to the Rumble, I wouldn't even want to see him in the Rumble because he's just gonna get a quick entrance. He's not gonna win it. He's just gonna get eliminated, and that's it. Thank you for coming back. Good to see you.
It'd
Goodbye.
be cool if he's in the Final Four. That's fine. Let him stay in a bit, get the pop, and maybe get in the Final Four. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But don't let him win.
They have an opportunity of a lifetime to do something so fucking funny when they bring back Chris Jericho. Because when Chris Jericho came back, or when he made his WWE debut 20 plus years ago with The Rock, some people knew who he was. Some people didn't because he came from WCW. And they bring him back versus The Rock, who at the time was the biggest babyface. And the first thing The Rock says to him is, "Who in the blue hell are you?" or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What if they did the same thing or something similar with someone like, like a Gunther or something? He just came back from AEW, right? Kind of like similar to 20 years ago with WCW. And he cuts a promo on Gunther, for example, and Gunther's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Where did you come?" I think I want to see something like that. Chris Jericho show up and, I don't know, get in someone's face unexpectedly and just be like, "I'm back."
I'm fine seeing him back, but I will be honest, not for the long haul. I don't want to see him overstay his welcome. And I got to be honest, one of the hardest things about watching AEW for me is watching all of these guys who are either Hall of Famers already, future Hall of Famers in a different company, all feel like they are overstaying their welcome in the spotlight. I feel that way with Christian. I feel that way with Edge. I felt that way with Sting. I feel that way with Jeff Jarrett. I feel that way with Billy Gunn. I feel that way with Jericho. You guys are all in your fucking 50s and 60s. You are taking TV time from guys who deserve and have earned a chance to showcase what they can do. And that's why everybody was so sick of Jericho to begin with. They felt like he was stealing all this time and TV time and spotlight from all these younger guys. And that the only way to be relevant is if you were stuck with Jericho, or Jericho wants to saddle himself to a younger hot prospect. And it's like, I don't need to see that in WWE. You want to show up and be a part-timer for the last year of your career? Okay. But I don't want to see you on every Monday Night Raw, getting in every world champion's face, taking TV time and like taking titles off of people. Like, God forbid they have him return to SmackDown and he just like takes it off of Carmelo Hayes or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what spot you put him in other than utility player, part-time utility player. Keep him strong enough so when he eventually goes for his retirement match, it means something and it feels like he has a chance. But nah, bro, it's just he's overstayed his welcome, in my opinion, already as an active talent.
Yeah, I don't know about that because there's a big difference. You know, when you're in AEW, it's one thing. When you're in WWE, it's another thing. Just ask Cody Rhodes. Just ask Ricky Saints. Just ask Ethan Page. And there's a difference in the stuff that Jericho was doing in AEW, which was all these different gimmicks that Jericho had, the learning tree and
Painmaker,
all this stuff that he came up with. But what's one thing that he is in WWE that WWE owns that he is not able to use anywhere else? It's Y2J. Chris Jericho is going to come back as Y2J Chris Jericho. And I think that right there, I think it's going to be fucking gold. So, I mean, there's a big difference.
I think that if he comes back as Y2J, okay, you could retread that, but it'd be now the second or third time he's returned in that gimmick. And it's like, I've seen this so many times before. So now it's just your old shtick. I'm the Ayatollah of rock and roller. Like, you know, like, okay. Like my favorite gimmick he ever did, honestly, was when he was the intellectual, where he dressed in a suit every promo, and he was saying all these big, long words and calling the audience stupid because he was an intellectual and they couldn't understand him. And he was just so beady and so disrespectful. And he was feuding with like Big Show and frickin' Shawn Michaels. And, you know, that was the last time I felt like he was in a great, great, great gimmick. And then, of course, the best friends gimmick with Kevin Owens. I thought that was genius. The Festival of Friendship is one of the most beloved, underrated moments of the last 11 years of WWE. If he comes back as Y2J, okay. But I want two things from him. Some new material in that Y2J shit. And I need him to be in shape. Because if you're going to wrestle and try to stand next to all these young 20s and 30-somethings and then still take their spotlight, you need to at least put in the effort to stay in shape. Because there have been many times that he's, over the last several years, where he's been in AEW where he's just let himself go. And then he still wears those fucking trunks while his love handles and all of his shit's just flabbing over the side, and his man titties are everywhere. And it's like, dude, you're in the ring with a 25-year-old. How are you not embarrassed that you are not putting in the effort, but you are still taking TV time? You know what I'm saying? Like, put in the effort to at least keep up your physical appearance. It's part of the job. You know, like, I feel like if you want that spot, you need to look and work like you want that spot.
Yeah, well, I would say the same thing about Kevin Owens, yet, you know,
but
here we are.
Kevin can move 15 times better than Jericho at his weight. And that's why he gets away with it. He also wrestles in a shirt. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people excited for this. Like, a lot of old WWE, like Attitude Era fans who don't really watch. Chris Jericho's going to bring back a lot of old eyes that haven't watched the product, I think. And I think
absolutely.
That's one of the things that also is a big benefit for WWE and fans as well.
He's going to bring AEW people over too, who still love him. But I would argue, whether people want to admit it or not, all these diehard AEW fans, and it's totally fine to be a diehard AEW fan. However,
no, it's
I'm
not.
I'm highly against wrestling tribalism, because I think it just rips us all apart when we all love wrestling. But it's just about what type of wrestling you like. But my thing is, whether they like to admit it or not, AEW fans do watch WWE. They do. Yeah. Maybe not all of them, but most of them watch both products.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what else we got? CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. CM Punk is a current world heavyweight champion. What do you think is going to happen there, Blood?
Man, I'm scared, bro. I'm happy that Braun is getting this push. I'm happy that Braun is a prospect and a project that is working. But I also don't want Punk to lose his title on his first defense. Because he just won the fucking thing. and I love Punk to death. And Punk has not had a title defense yet, correct? He won the thing, then he went to War Games, then he was off TV for 2 weeks. Now he's got this match with Braun. So he hasn't had a single title defense yet. And he won that thing when it's when did he take it off of I'm just blanked. Who did he beat for it? Wow, hold on. I just blanked on who he beat for it.
Yeah, wasn't it Seth? Seth?
Was it Seth? Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember.
Fuck. Why am I blanking? Which pay-per-view was it?
I don't know. We watch so much wrestling, it's hard to keep up sometimes.
I am blanking on which PLE.
People are saying Jay. Oh, it was the finals between Punk and Jay, wasn't it?
It was, because it was vacated. That's right. It was vacated. Okay, yeah, that's right, because Punk goes out after SummerSlam, I think, or no, Rollins goes out after WrestlePalooza.
It was like Saturday night's main event, I think, right?
It was him versus Cody at like Crown Jewel or something.
No, when Punk won the title, I mean.
When Punk won the title, Saturday night's main event? Yeah, in the tournament final, yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a blur last year's final like quarter was. But I don't want to see him lose it after one defense. Though I love Braun, you could argue that you don't know if someone's ready, like I argue with Maxine, until you push him in the deep end. So if I make that argument for her, I got to make it for him. My thing is, Punk is one of those guys, right, who doesn't need to be champion ever to be over. He's one of those guys where the champion never makes the man. He makes that fucking championship. Because even if he just walked out and just like looked at the audience and said, "My name's CM Punk," and dropped the mic, they'd go apeshit. And then he just walks out. I think that if you put it on Braun, okay. Could you argue it's a little early? Sure, because they originally wanted to put the title on Braun after Mania. That was the original plan. If Seth didn't get injured, was that he was going to turn on Seth at or after Mania, and then the title would come his way leading into SummerSlam. Now they're moving up that timeline. If he wins it now, okay, he's got an iron grip on it through Rumble, through what do you do during Elimination Chamber? Is he going to be the title that gets selected by the winner of the Rumble, or is whoever wins the Elimination Chamber going to face him as the consolation, like they did last year? So then it's who is he facing at WrestleMania? So if you put it on him now, okay, or would it make more sense to have him win it at Mania for a bigger moment? So my thing is, I'm hoping for an interference.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see
interference.
I don't want to see Punk lose it either, man, for that same reason. I feel like we need to see a much longer title run for CM Punk, just because, like, it's Punk, man, the star power, he still has that.
He's a draw.
I hate to use this word. I'm probably going to get a lot of shit, but aura, people still.
He has unlimited aura.
People still love CM Punk, and if I had to pick between CM Punk, as much as I love Braun Breaker, man, having it on Punk, one of the biggest stars, one of the biggest baby faces, I think it's better off. Nothing against Braun Breaker. I don't feel like he's ready yet for that spotlight. I don't feel like
the thing about that is we have to also take consideration. It'd be one thing if Braun was alone. He has other people in the group to pick up his weaknesses so they can still protect him like they protected Roman with the Shield. He's also got Paul Heyman to cover any missteps, talking-wise, build-wise. So if you put the title on him now, he's covered in all directions. And they can protect any weaknesses he might have while he's still getting them filled in. The biggest thing here is, if you put it on Braun, okay, you got to build him like crazy and you got to protect him like crazy. If you don't put it on him, do you take the wind out of his sails by accident? Do you kill his momentum damn near immediately? That is the worry. It'll be a damned if you do and a damned if you don't if it doesn't work out with him getting that title too early. But it will be a damned if you don't put it on him and you just put him in this spot for the title and then you let Punk beat him. And now it's like, well, Punk beat you. And you said you were going to destroy him, and he said he couldn't keep up with you. So if a 48-year-old man can kick your ass, how is anybody else going to lose to you? You know what I'm saying? It's. I think this is the one time I can think in a long time where I want an interference in this main event.
Here's another thing, too, that is kind of related to this that I thought was kind of interesting. Apparently, Seth Rollins did a interview recently with Clutch Points, where now we've been seeing Seth Rollins make appearances like at these NFL games, not wearing a brace and moving his arm around and doing all these things. So he seems to be fine now, which a lot of people are starting to speculate like, oh, he should be coming back anytime soon. So
he could also just have the brace off just so we can let his joints be a little free. Because I saw him on an interview just last week on a podcast. He had that thing on.
Yeah, could be. But I have a quote here from Seth Rollins from this interview I want to read real quick where he says, I think they asked him about Seth Rollins reveals first thing he'll do after return. And this is, again, a interview with Clutch Points where I guess the quote goes, the primary target in my return will actually not be a person at all. It'll be a thing. That would be the World Heavyweight Championship because I never lost the title. So I'm rightfully the World Heavyweight Champion. I was stripped of that championship. And anybody who's in possession of that title, be it CM Punk, be it Braun Breaker, anybody who stands in my way, they will be dealt with. So I don't know if that changes your prediction at all when it comes to this match, but
no, because I still think I still think he's coming back near Mania or after or at Mania itself. It's very possible that, like, let's just hypothetically say Braun wins it on Monday. He carries it all the way to Mania, faces whoever the fuck wins the Rumble at Mania. Seth could either come out and screw him while the ref is down and cost him the match, and then he loses the title, or Seth comes down after the match and stomps his ass down as a return to stake his claim as I'm back and I'm coming straight for you. But if he doesn't, I think it's very possible that, like, let's say Punk carries it all the way to Mania. Punk faces Braun in the main event of WrestleMania as a rematch. Right as Braun is about to win, because Braun's the one who took him out, ref bump, whatever, he stomps Braun to help Punk, reluctantly help Punk, fight off the rest of the division. Punk retains, and now Rollins goes for Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, a match that we were supposed to get so many times now that we never got to.
Yeah, so many possibilities, man. So many possibilities. Very interesting. But yeah, man, January 5th is going to be one hell of a show. I'm pumped for that.
Shout out to Tommy T Acting in the comments, who asks, do you think, Tommy's one of our panel mates, do you think Theory is a plant for Seth? I absolutely do.
Fuck no.
I think he's a Trojan
Seth
horse.
Rollins. No, I'm kidding. Let's go back to the Royal Rumble real quick, because now that we're talking about returns and we're like damn near like right around the corner from the Rumble, we're in January now. One of the names that is being rumored to make a major return at the Royal Rumble is Chad Gable. That's one of the names that's getting thrown around. However, the rumor has it that Chad Gable is going to come back as El Grande Americano, which means we're going to have two Grande Americanos, and kind of have like a ongoing feud with, okay, who's the real El Grande Americano or whatever. That's the rumor right now that's been going around. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it'd be a fun feud. However, I feel like Chad already knows that Ludwig is the one that's in the mask, because I could have swore that, like, there was a point in a backstage segment where they were talking to like Jackie Redmond or somebody, or Adam Pearce, and you could see certain times in the background. In fact, the very first time we see Ludwig even like lurking behind where before he ever gets the mask. He's talking to Chad while somebody's doing a one-shot walkthrough, and you see them in the back corner having a conversation. I think that Chad asked Ludwig to put that mask on for him and continue it while he's out, in kayfabe, obviously. But if, let's just say that he comes back and it's like, who's the real motherfucking one? I think it'd be fun, but then here's the question. It can't be a heel versus heel dynamic because that'll get old real quick. So does Chad Gable's group turn face and freaking, Ludwig Kaiser and Ryo and whatever the fuck the other guy's name is, do they stay heel or do they turn face?
No, they're gonna turn face. I mean, they already did in Mexico. Grande, the Grande Americano. Now, I'm not gonna say it's Ludwig Kaiser because it's not him, but they already turned him face in AAA, or they're starting to like transition him into.
They turned him face in AAA.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Okay, so if they are, then they could be turning him face, so he's already a full face by the time Chad returns. So if that's the case, then you're going to have Chad and the Creed brothers versus Ludwig and Ryo, and I can't think of what that fucking blue one's name is. Blanco, Bazenko. Pete Dunne or the other motherfucker.
Put some respect on the legendary luchador Bravo.
Bravo. If he could only win a match, Bravo. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's being rumored that they're gonna have a feud. They compared it to, I guess they did something similar WWE with Sin Cara back in the day.
Yes, they did, and it was the actual person who is Sin Cara, and then they had I think it was Hunico wound up taking up the mantle of Sin Cara when they fired the original because he just wasn't working out. He was like botching every fucking match. He botched his fucking entrance, if you remember.
Yeah,
when he debuted, he botched his entrance. He fucking got hung up on the rope jumping off the trampoline. Then he fucked up he literally botched his own finisher, which was a Spanish fly off the top rope. So he had to reset and then hit it again. And I was like, oh my God, bro. But that was because Vince was like, let's have this gimmick where he wrestles in a dark fucking arena with just this like orangish tannish lighting on the ring. Guy couldn't see shit through his mask. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, bro. But yeah, they did that with Sin Cara. They've done it with Doink the Clown. They did it with the Imposter Undertaker and Imposter Kane. So they've done this many times.
Yeah, according to this post that I found from Arena Clandestina, they're saying that this could lead to a mask versus mask match between the two.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be entertaining for the mid card or the undercard. So,
yeah. But yeah, other than that, dude, we're off to a crazy start for January, man, with SmackDown going to 3 fucking hours. We also got the whole month of January. The whole month of January is going to be in Europe. So I got here. It's going to be.
Where's Raw?
So this Monday Night Raw is going to be January 5th is not on the schedule. So that's going to be here in America. This Monday Night Raw, January 5th.
I thought they said it was going to be in like Vegas or like somewhere like that. Somewhere on the West Coast over in your neck of the woods.
Let's see. Because that's a good question. I want to know now.
I think it's like Philly, which is on this coast, or it's a big city.
It's in Barclays Center, New York, Brooklyn.
Okay, it's my coast, but it's a big city. I knew it was a big city.
Yeah. And then they're going to go do a live event 3 days after that in Germany. And then SmackDown, the first 3-hour show, January 9th, is going to be in Germany, Berlin. Yeah, so fuck. That means that it's probably going to air on Netflix in the middle of the day. Because that's usually how it goes down, right?
Yeah. So like it does here because it airs earlier, SmackDown will stay at normal time. It's Raw that's the problem. Because they do it live. So like we remember last European tour, we were getting Raws at like 5 a.m. 6 in the morning when they were over in Europe and shit. Like, remember we had to get up like on that one weekend because SmackDown is live, but if they do it earlier in the day over there, that doesn't, let's say, match up with 8 p.m. here on my coast, they could always record it during the day and then play it later.
Yeah, they do. They always play it later, but if you have a VPN like we do,
Yes.
we could watch it live. Like,
yes, but who the hell's got time to watch 3 hours of TV in the middle of the day, like on a Friday? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a family man. You know, you got a whole life and work and everything. Like, could you stop what you're doing at like 10 a.m. and watch 3 hours of Raw until 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday?
Hell yeah.
You want to? I could too, but then we're the lucky few.
So 7:30 p.m. is a start time for Raw in Germany, but what the fuck is 7:30 p.m. here?
I think Germany's like 12 or no, Germany's like 16 hours ahead.
I'm going to say 7:30 p.m. in Germany in Pacific time. Let's just say Pacific time.
Oh, your time, okay.
Yeah. Because fuck the East Coast. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, that means it would be 1:30 my coast.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. I'm not going to sit at 1:30 in the afternoon for 3 hours until 4:30.
Yeah.
Just to watch SmackDown and it be not that great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it might be because it's the first episode of SmackDown of the year.
Only reason I could see them going back to 3 hours is because of all those rumored call-ups from NXT that are going to SmackDown. So they got to fit them on the roster. So there's that extra hour for like 2 more matches and like 3 more segments and 15 more commercials.
Isn't this when they're going to do the 3 stages of hell with Cody and Drew?
He did. Well, Drew did say we're going to do this in Berlin, didn't he?
I don't remember. I didn't watch SmackDown. Remember, it was the holidays.
I could have swore he said 3 stages of hell. Me, you, and like could have swore he said we're doing it in Berlin.
Oh, then yeah, it's this Friday, so that should be pretty cool. Something to look forward to.
Fuck.
And then the following Monday Night Raw, January 12th, is also going to be in Germany, which means probably the same start time. And then,
well, SmackDown's in New York this week, so next week on Friday,
the 9th. Oh, yeah. Wait,
yeah,
no.
So tomorrow's the 2nd, brother.
Tomorrow's okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow, yes, but the one after that is in Berlin. Okay. So then the very last European show is going to be January 19th, and that's Monday Night Raw in Ireland. So pretty much the whole entire month of January, bro. We're gonna
like 3 weeks. Yeah. And then when is Rumble? By the way, is that end of January? Is that the first week of February, like it was last year? Last year it was weird. It was actually like February 1st or 2nd. I was like, it's so weird that a Rumble's in February. It's usually always in January.
Yeah, it's usually always in January. Yeah, the 31st.
Damn, last day of the month. Okay.
Very, very last day. So
right.
I think that's one of the reasons why they did this European tour, because they're going to be overseas for the Rumble. Yeah. They're like, well, let's just go a whole month earlier and let's just do a whole ass fucking tour out there.
Well, the thing is remember, Rumble's in Saudi, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Sammy's winning, but we'll do that for predictions the week prior. But that's a good bet. You know how the Saudi government is.
God damn it!
They're going to give us what we want.
Nah,
we don't care. We don't care about your stories and continuity. This is what we asked for. And you better bring Undertaker's dusty ass back out here.
They're going to be like, nah, we want Shawn Michaels to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
2026.
Literally, the Saudi government literally tells WWE to make matches that like you can only still make in like 2K25. Like, we want to see The Undertaker out of retirement versus Shawn Michaels in an Armageddon Hell in a Cell match. Like,
dude, this is going to suck, man. Having to watch wrestling at 10:30 in the morning. I have like work meetings and shit. Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna be able to watch it live, dude.
I was never planning on watching it live. I'm gonna catch the goddamn cliff notes on YouTube.
Yeah,
I am not watching wrestling that early in the freaking morning for that long.
I wonder if the time for SmackDown in the UK is the same time over here. I just want to check real quick. London, UK. What day is that? They're gonna be in London January 16th, 0116. Start time. Sorry, it's hard to type when I'm wearing my fucking sunglasses. But I gotta look cool for the live, you know.
You don't.
Yes, I do. 2 p.m. Eastern is the what the no, that's not right. You dumb son of a bitch. WWE SmackDown, motherfucker. Great. 1 second. All right, let's try this again. 7:30 p.m. local time. Yeah, it's going to be at the same time, which is 10:30 a.m. Boy, yeah, I'm just going to assume all the shows are going to be motherfucking. Stop trying to be like me, dog. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, dude. 10:30 a.m. start times for the month of January for everyone who wants to watch this shit live, bro, which usually I like to watch it live for the clips. But yeah.
Hey, none of y'all happen to, have jobs or responsibilities first thing in the morning, do you? For 3 hours that might take up your time?
Yeah.
Watch SmackDown.
Fuck. Yeah. So what a way to kick off 2026, dog.
Oh, God, bro.
3 hours of SmackDown, and you have to... Oh, my God. All right.
Then watch. In the summer, they're going to drop it back down to 2 hours, and then I guarantee you, this is going to be TKO's stupid plan going forward. The first half of the year is the European tours, the 2 Saturday nights main events, 3 hour SmackDowns, and once summer hits, or summer goes into like late summer, they're going to drop it back to 2 hours like they did last year, up until they go into the last 2 Saturday nights main events. Then they go on one more tour in that time frame, and then they're going to be back at the 3 hour. They're going to do it every year like this. Watch.
And the Royal Rumble is also going to be at a weird time. If they're in Saudi, I think they usually air it over here on my coast at like 11 or noon.
Bro, like seriously, like Rumble, like noon at your time, like I'd be like, I'm gonna lose a whole day because I'm gonna be home all afternoon watching a 3.5 hour, 4 hour PLE, like just sitting at home, like you waste the day. But just because we have to like catch it live, that's aggravating as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dog, that's crazy. Oh my God,
I
forgot
I feel
about
bad.
all
Like 30 of those women have got to fucking like literally cover head to like fucking neck to goddamn wrist and down to ankle and can't cover none of their shit. Like, and none of their matches are going to get the fanfare they deserve. You know, like it's just, I hate when they go to Saudi, bro. I really do.
I feel bad for Maxine Dupree because that's the only reason people want to watch her matches.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, God damn it.
Thank God Raquel's always covered up. But, when it comes down to House Bean.
You're going to hell, dog.
Oh, I know. I made a deal with the devil a long time ago, homie. I got an air-conditioned unit waiting for me down there.
Well, yeah, Blood, that's the major update for the new year, for the 2026, man. Not really excited of how this year is going to start with the WWE, if I'm being honest, but
it's going to be a pain in the ass first month, bro.
Yeah, but hopefully it's worth it, man. Hopefully they give us some shit to actually look forward to and be hyped about. So far, I mean, the first episode of Raw is turning out to be a pretty good one. So
yeah, no, it's a stacked first show of the year. Mm-hmm. Let's just hope they don't shit the bed with it. But my phone's on 10%, guys. So are we ready to get out of here?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to Snug Wrestling's 1 hour TikTok lives every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on TikTok Live. And if you love our content, you want to follow us, you can catch us every Monday and Friday night after Raw and SmackDown go off the air for live post-show reviews on Apple, Spotify, X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook and YouTube for those actual shows. And if you miss them, then you can, of course, catch the replays on Apple and Spotify. And, of course, like I said, every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here for random wrestling topics for an hour or current wrestling topics with myself, Mr. Blood, and that handsome Mexican over there, Edgar, where we do our one-on-ones and answer your fan questions live. And guys, if you want to support the channel, well, I can't tell you. Click that link or whatever you want to do on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug, and happy New Year.